Alright guys, so the 93rd Academy Awards are just a few days away, so it's time for me to give you my final predictions as to who I think will be walking away with all the Oscars and all 23 categories. The Oscars ceremony is taking place this Sunday, April 25th, and for the first time ever, I'm going to be doing a full-on live stream of the Oscars ceremony. I'm going to be reacting to the winners, the speeches, the surprises, the fashion, the teleconference Zoom fails. Yeah, I'm going to be there for all of it, and if you guys want to watch along with me and see how I'm reacting, be sure to subscribe to the channel and also turn on that little bell notification so you're notified as to when the video is going live. We'll have a laugh, we'll react to the winners, I'll answer any questions that you guys have. It should be a good laugh. I'll probably be quite drunk by the end of it like I was last year, but yeah, should be good fun. Last year I got 20 out of 24 correct. That was back when they had 24 categories. It's 23 this year. Squish the two sound categories together. But I'm not expecting to do as well this year, mostly because this is COVID year, and it's been such a topsy-turvy year and award season in general. So I'm expecting there to be some surprises and some upsets. There's more categories this year which I'm less certain about. Some categories are definitely more open this year than they were last year. So I am anticipating to get a few wrong this year because it is like a coin toss between a couple of nominees in a few categories. And there's always at least one shocker. What category do you think we might see a surprise in? Let me know in that comment section down below. Also, if you agree or disagree with any of my picks, let me know in the comment section down below. I want to hear your predictions. I want to hear you make a compelling case as to who you think is going to win in a particular category. I love hearing what you guys have to say about your Oscar predictions and theories. Let your voice be heard in that comment section down below. Okay, so I've got my gold derby up, so I'm just gonna scroll down and go through each of the 23 categories and tell you who I have picked for each category. The first one is the big one, Best Picture. Normally with Best Picture, I had a really bad streak in the latter part of last decade where I was really bad at predicting the Best Picture winner. Thankfully, last year I ended that cold streak when I accurately predicted it was going to be Parasite taking home the Best Picture. That was such a rewarding and satisfying moment. You know when you just go your gut and it pays off? That was one of those moments of Parasite winning. But this year, I hope to continue the correct streak in this category because I feel 95% confident with the pick, and I'm going with the obvious frontrunner. It is Nomadland. At this point in the race, it's really hard not to predict Nomadland because it's just won so much. When you're looking at the sheer quantity of how much this film has already won with the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, the Producers Guild Awards, the BAFTAs, as well as countless critics groups and film festivals. Like it won the Golden Lion at Venice and the People's Choice Award at TIFF. Those two are like hugely reliable indicators as to what's going to go on to win Best Picture. And that was the first film ever in history to win both the Golden Lion and the People's Choice Award in the same year. That's never happened before. So it's like, it's pretty much a guarantee. But having said that, there is still this like 5% of doubt in me that we could see a surprise here. Because a lot of people were saying that Nomadland, it was just going to fizzle out, it was going to peak, and I sort of thought that too. I thought we were just going to see at least one win for something else like Minari, Trial of Chicago 7, somewhere over the awards season, but it didn't happen. But part of me thinks maybe a film like Nomadland, which has had such a long, glorious moment in the sunshine, might just be toppled over by something more crowd-pleasing on a preferential ballot at the Oscars. Because Nomadland is a slow, lazy film that was made for the big screen, and a lot of the voters have had to watch Nomadland on laptops and on televisions at home. They're not getting the full Nomadland experience for all its majesty in the cinema. So there might not be as much hype for it at this point. Whereas something that's a little more crowd-pleasing and, you know, heartwarming like Minari, that could surprise here. Honestly, it's such a lovely film. It's got great messages, it's got heart, and I could see it surprising, but it's just hard to argue with the sheer quantity of how much Nomadland has won. So as much as I think there is a slight chance for something like Minari or Trial of Chicago 7 maybe, or even Promising Young Woman to snatch it from Nomadland. I'm having a hard time betting against how much it's already won. Statistic-wise, it's so comfortably far ahead than all the other Best Picture contenders. So yeah, I'm still putting my money on Nomadland, but in terms of preferences, the film I want to see win the most is Promising Young Woman, then Minari, then The Father, then Nomadland. So yeah, it's like my fourth choice for Best Picture, but I'm still gonna be happy if it wins Best Picture, because it's still a deserving film. I just prefer the three films that I just mentioned there more. How about you guys? What do you want to see win Best Picture, and what do you think will win Best Picture? Okay, so next up we have Best Director. This is a really easy category. It's going to be Chloé Zhao's. Again, like Nomadland, at this point in the race, you would be foolish to bet against Chloé Zhao because she's won pretty much every trophy ever conceived for directing this year. Like, she has all the trophies, and she's gonna be taking home that Oscar as well. She's gonna be the second ever woman to win the award after Catherine Bigelow, who won back in like 2009 or 10 for The Hurt Locker. And then she's also gonna be the first ever woman of color as well to win Best Director. So it's gonna be a history-making win. It's hers. Like, there's no drop of doubt in my mind that it's going to be Chloé Zhao. I feel 100% confident it's going to be her. Okay, so next up we have Best Actress. Oh, not only is this my favorite category this year, but this is probably the tightest Best Actress race we have had in a decade. I've gone into extensive detail about this category by itself because this race is so open, it could go to anyone. But yeah, I felt it required some in-depth analysis, so I've done a whole big video on it labeling the pros and cons of each of the 5 nominees. I'll pop a link up here if you want to check out my video on Best Actress for this year. And the reason it's a very open race is because we're going into Oscars night with a very level playing field. Like, no one seems to have a major advantage in this category. It's like everyone apart from Vanessa Kirby has won a major precursor award. Andrew Day got the Golden Globe, Violet Davis got the SAG, Carey Mulligan got the Critics' Choice Award, and Frances McDormand got the BAFTA. Which just means Vanessa Kirby has yet to score, but she's the only one out of the 5 I think isn't really in contention, so I still think it's between the 4 that have won the precursors. It's just sadly not Vanessa Kirby's time, even though she was wonderful in Pieces of a Woman. It could honestly go to any one of those 4, but I personally want to see Carey Mulligan win this the most, but I have a feeling, it's just an instinctual, guttural feeling, that it's gonna go to Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I won't go into extensive detail here as to why I think it's gonna be Viola Davis because I'm just gonna be repeating what I said in that Best Actress video. So if you want all the details, be sure to check that video out after this one. But I would love to be proven wrong here and have Carey Mulligan win it because I just absolutely adored what she brought to the table in Promising Young Woman. Maybe it's because I'm British and I'm a little bit biased, but yes, I would love, love, love to see Carey Mulligan win it. And I know she does seem to be the hot favorite. Like, she is #1 on Gold Derby, and for the longest time, she was my pick on Gold Derby as well. But sometimes you just have a feeling it's going to go a different direction, and you should trust those feelings because it's instinct. I listened to that feeling last year when I thought Parasite was going to win, and it worked out. It was when Viola Davis won the SAG award that made me start to rewire my thinking as to how this category is gonna go down. Like I said, I personally want Carey Mulligan to win it the most, but I'll be happy with Viola Davis, I'll be happy with Andra Day, or Frances McDormand, or Vanessa Kirby. There's no one here who I don't think is deserving of the award. But with a race this open, you just have to, go with your instincts. And even though I want Carey Mulligan to win it, I don't know that they've just been pulled in Viola Davis's direction a little bit more than Carey Mulligan's. But I'll be happy to be proven wrong and have Carey Mulligan win it. I would be delighted if it's her, but my gut and instinct is saying Viola Davis, so I'm gonna go with her. Okay, so moving on, next up we have Best Actor. Now I know some of you have been saying, oh, there's an upset brewing here now that Anthony Hopkins won at the BAFTAs and he might win the Oscar over Chadwick Boseman. I'm so happy that Anthony Hopkins won the BAFTA. It was his home turf and it was nice to see him awarded for his actual best performance today. I freaking love him in The Father. I'm so happy for it. But, come on people, Chadwick Boseman is still winning that Oscar. I wasn't even fazed by the fact that Anthony Hopkins won at the BAFTA. It made sense. He's British. Like, the Brits love him. It makes sense. If he was gonna win anywhere, it was gonna be there. But Chadwick Boseman is still winning the Oscar, okay? He has everything working in his favor, okay? He has the sympathy narrative. He's won enough of the precursors, the SAG, the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice. He's comfortably ahead. It was his final ever performance, and arguably the best performance he has ever given. He just gave it everything that he had. He's got the support. He really does have everything that he needs to secure the win. And think of it this way, do you honestly think the Academy wants to face the backlash from the public of not giving it to Chadwick Boseman for his final ever performance? One of the most beloved actors of his generation. This is cementing his legacy with the Oscar, giving it to him posthumously. It celebrates his entire career of work. They're not gonna want to miss that opportunity. So yeah, it's going to be Chadwick. If you're putting your prediction on Anthony Hopkins, good luck to you. I wish I had your confidence. Okay, so next up we have Best Supporting Actress. This is another tight one. Not as tight as Best Actress, but it is still, there's room for an upset here. I've currently gone with Ya Jung-yoon for Minari. Her wins at the SAG and BAFTAs have just taken her out in front, and her acceptance speeches at the SAG and BAFTAs were like the best thing about those awards ceremonies. She is just so charming and lovable. And yeah, she called the Brits snobs and made us love her even more. Yeah, she's so real. She's the grandmother that you wish you had, and she's just, oh, I'm so excited for her to win her first Oscar. But there is a little bit of doubt in my mind that someone else could win here. The person who I think actually has the best chance of beating Ya Jung-yoon is Glenn Close. Merely just because of her narrative, which I've gone into extensive detail about the Best Supporting Actress video that I've done. I'll pop a link up there if you want to see my in-depth analysis of that category. But yeah, Glenn Close really is just so overdue for recognition because this is her 8th time being nominated. She's beloved by the Academy. She's had no previous wins. And yeah, after her surprise loss to Olivia Colman the last time she was nominated, yeah, it just feels like poor Glenn Close, like she just wants an Oscar so badly. Let's give us something to acknowledge her hard career. And yeah, she could win the Oscar just as a career award, as a way for the Academy to say, we love you, we respect all the work that you've done, even if Hillbilly Elegy isn't the best film that you've done, here's an award to celebrate everything that you've done. But again, I'm still having trouble putting Glenn Close as number 1 because she was nominated for a Razzie for the same performance that she's nominated for at the Oscars, and I just don't think it's the right role that they're gonna want to honor Glenn Close for. So yeah, I don't think this is her year. But also Maria Bakalova, who is the critics group's favorite, has won the most awards, I'd say, this award season. She could surprise here because yeah, she is certainly beloved. She's been talked about a lot because of her breakout performance in Borat's subsequent movie film. But yeah, it's a comedy performance, and it's also quite out there in terms of comedy. It's like improv and uncomfortable, and yeah, it's like real life satire, which was impressive to watch, but I don't know if all the Academy is ready to acknowledge a performance like that. I just don't think everyone understands it or gets it. All the credit and props and love goes to Mira Bakalova for her efforts and her performance, but yeah, I just can't see her winning it this year, sadly. I know some people are saying she's the dark horse. I don't think it's her. Yeah, I'm putting my money on Ya Jung-yoon, but there is a little bit of doubt in my mind that it could go to someone else, but the sensible prediction is on Ya Jung-yoon, and she is the person who I want to see win the most as well. So fingers crossed for her. Next up is Best Supporting Actor, and again, this is a real easy one. It's Daniel Kaluuya for Judas and the Black Messiah. He has been sweeping all of the precursors, Critics' Choice, Golden Globe, BAFTAs, SAGs, and he's gonna take home that Oscar as well. His performance was so arresting, impactful, and ferocious, and playing a real-life important figurehead, Fred Hampton, in a very topical, timely movie, which really reflects the Black Lives Matter movement that we've seen this past year. It's just a phenomenal performance from Daniel Kaluuya, and I am so, so excited that on Monday we'll be living in a world where I can say, Oscar winner, Daniel Kaluuya. I'm just so excited for that. And yeah, he's also British, so it's a win for the Brits. And yeah, bring it home for us, Daniel Kaluuya. We love you. I cannot wait to see you get that Oscar, and I can't wait to hear your speech as well. All right, let's move on to Best Adapted Screenplay. This is one actually where I am a little torn. As of right now, I think it's a two-way race between Chloé Zhao for Nomadland and Florian Zeller for The Father. On the one hand, Chloé Zhao has been winning so many of the screenplay awards over award season for Nomadland. She has the momentum and the statistics. However, on the flip side of the argument, Florian Zeller did win the BAFTA, so it seems to be picking up steam. But also, The Father got 6 nominations, and it's such a beloved film. But I'm not sure where is the best place the Academy would want to honor The Father. Because, again, I don't think Olivia Colman or Anthony Hopkins will win in the acting categories. I would love to see it win editing or production design, but there's other films which seem to be, you know, out in lead for those categories. So there might be a consensus that if we want to honor The Father, the best place to honor it might actually be in the screenplay category. Because Chloé Zhao is probably going to win Best Picture and Best Director. She's going to get at least 2 Oscars on the night. But how many Oscars do the Academy actually want to give her? Do they want to give her a third for the screenplay as well? When in actuality, Nomadland, even though it is a lovely film and it's competently written, it's not a film where the dialogue is, you know, shouted about. It's not something that people jump to and think, oh yeah, the writing was amazing in Nomadland. They think of the cinematography and the wonderful performance by Frances McDormand and the direction. And yes, it is a lovely film, but the writing doesn't leap off the screen. Whereas The Father is very dialogue driven. And I could see them saying, okay, let's give it to The Father because I want to give The Father something because I don't know where else to acknowledge it. So I was on Team Nomadland, but I'm switching to The Father. I just have a feeling that it's going to be it. I think they're going to be diplomatic with their votes and give Chloé Zhao Director and Best Picture, but give Screenplay to Florian Zeller so they can spread the love around. And as much as I love Nomadland, I do think The Father has the better script. It's such a powerful film about an issue that's a huge problem in our elderly population. And I can see a lot of people just wanting to give it something, so I'm going to go with Florian Zeller for The Father for Best Adapted Screenplay. Okay, so next up we have Best Original Screenplay, and I absolutely love how this race has evolved over award season, because from the get-go it seemed Trial of Chicago 7 was a shoo-in to win this category because it was Aaron Sorkin and he did win the Golden Globe, but around about the Critics' Choice Awards, the wind started to change direction in Emerald Fennell's favour, and she started winning all the awards. Critics' Choice Award, the BAFTAs, the Writers' Guild Award. So that's where I'm putting my prediction on Emerald Fennell for Promising Young Woman. Like, Promising Young Woman is just one of the most discussed films of the past year. It is so hot right now, and it also feels so timely in the themes that it addresses. But when it comes down to Best Original Screenplay, I've seen dozens of courtroom dramas like Trial of Chicago 7 before. I haven't seen anything like Promising Young Woman ever. Like, I've seen female revenge thrillers, but this is nothing like Kill Bill. This is something unique and fresh and original. It's in the title, Best Original Screenplay. It should be Promising Young Woman. There is a chance that Sorkin could snatch it back, but I just think Promising Young Woman grabs your attention more, and it's more popular, and they're going to want to honor this film. So yeah, Best Original Screenplay, Promising Young Woman. Next up we have cinematography, and I kind of just mentioned it previously, that the cinematography is one of the standout things in Nomadland, and that's what I think is going to win this category. It's going to go to Joshua James Richards for his beautiful, naturally lit, majestic cinematography in Nomadland. My personal pick for this category is actually Eric Messerschmidt for Mank. And I'm not even a big fan of the movie Mank as a whole, but I really do love the cinematography in Mank because it's just so well thought out and the composition of it all is so striking and gorgeous, and I think there was more skill involved in Mank, and I think Eric Messerschmidt is worthy of the award, but Joshua James Richards just has so many previous accolades for Nomadland. It's hard to argue with his statistics. So yeah, I'm going to go with Joshua James Richards for Nomadland. Next up we have costume design. I think this is going to go to Anne Roth for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, making her the oldest winner at age 89 years old. I'm so excited for her. She has won previously for The English Patient back in 1997, so this will be her second ever Oscar win. Do I think something might surprise here? No, I'm feeling really confident with Anne Roth with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. It's already won the BAFTA. It seems to have the momentum. So yeah, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom is going to win costume design. Next up we have editing. Okay, after Best Actress, this is the next category in line, which I think is the tightest to call. I am so torn on this category. I am not sure who it's going to go to. I have changed my mind more times than I can count. I personally want The Father to win for Best Editing because I just love how impactful the editing works to make you feel like Anthony Hopkins' character, like you have dementia, the confusion, the paranoia, the way it plays with time. It's so well done. It's effective editing, which isn't that flashy. And that's the thing with the Academy. They tend to go for films with the flashier editing, which is why I think Alan Baumgarten can probably win this for Trial of Chicago 7 because of the courtroom drama scene, you know, where they weave the different plot threads together and it just builds to an exciting climax. It's so well edited, that sequence in Trial of Chicago 7. And like I said, they love a bit of flash. The last few films to win this were Ford v Ferrari and Bohemian Rhapsody. So yeah, they tend to just go with the clip that gets sent out, which seems the most technically exuberant and flashy. That's usually what the Academy gets behind. But this is where it gets interesting. Sound of Metal won the BAFTA, for editing. So now I'm thinking maybe they're gonna go with a film that's the editing's more subtle, like Sound of Metal. I love the editing in Sound of Metal, and the BAFTA just makes me feel like maybe it is gonna be Sound of Metal. But the Academy have been known to go for the more, brash and in-your-face editing. So I'm a little bit torn. I want to see The Father win because I think it's the most effective without being flashy. Sound of Metal is just lovely and subtle editing, but again, it's nice and powerful. I still think The Father is better. But I'm going to go with Alan Baumgarten for Trial of Chicago 7. And hear me out, because Trial of Chicago 7, I think, is at risk of also walking away without any Oscars. Like, it's not really a frontrunner in anything anymore. I think its best chance is with editing. And Sound of Metal is pretty much a lock to win the Sound Award. And yeah, I feel if they want to be diplomatic again, this might be where they honor it. And they have shown in the past that the flashy editing does win. So I feel like they are going to just send the juiciest clip of Trial of Chicago 7, and that's going to be what clinches it for Alan Baumgarten. But I don't feel confident in this prediction. I would rather see it go to Sound of Metal. But again, this is just sort of a feeling, an instinctual feeling about this category. And I'm sort of going based on history as well. So I'm going to say Trial of Chicago 7 is going to win Best Editing, even though I don't actually think it is the best editing in this category, but very rarely does the film with the actual Best Editing win Best Editing. Parasite didn't win last year. That was freaking phenomenal editing and didn't win. But yeah, this category, they've shown style over substance usually wins out. So yeah, Trial of Chicago 7. Okay, so next up we have makeup and hairstyling. I think this is another easy one. Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, I think, is going to win this one. If there's going to be an upset here, I think maybe Hillbilly Elegy could clinch it, because Glenn Close and Amy Adams did wear a lot of those facial prosthetics, which the Academy has awarded before with films like Vice and Darkest Hour. So maybe Hillbilly Elegy could win here, but again, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom has more nominations. I think it's going to be more seen, so I think it's the more sensible pick as well. So I'm going to go with Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Next up, we have production design. Now, last year, The Irishman was heavily nominated, got 10 nominations, and didn't win a single thing. It was the biggest loser of last year. And with Mank, I thought we were going to see a repeat of the same sort of thing happening here. The big Netflix star-studded movie, getting 10 nominations and going home empty-handed. But I don't think that's going to happen this year. I think Mank is going to win something, and I think it's going to be for production design. Regardless of my feelings towards Mank overall, I absolutely adored the production design by Donald Graham Burt and Jan Pascal in this movie. The attention to detail is just lavish. It's stunning. Plus, it's a period film and it's set in Hollywood. And look at last year's win with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. They love to award a period film, and if it's set in Hollywood, it's even more of a plus for them. It's something the Academy does like to see because they're in the movie industry and they like to be transported back to the golden age of Hollywood. Okay, so next up we have Best Original Score. And this is another easy one. It's going to Trent Reznor, Atticus Ross, and Jon Batiste for Soul. End of. Like, they've won so many awards, they're comfortably out ahead. It is, in my opinion, the best score of the year, and this will be the first time that Pixar has won for a score since 2009 with Up. So yes, and I think this is a very deserving winner with Soul. So yes, it's gonna be Soul for Best Original Score. Next up we have Best Original Song, and honest to God, this is one of my least favorite categories this year. Like, the songs in contention, I think, are some of the weakest we've ever had. No offense to everyone nominated. I don't really know any of these songs. The only one that I know out of the bunch of them is Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest. It's the only one of them which I would want to see win, but I'm having difficulty saying it will be Eurovision Song Contest because it's such a weird and orthodox pick. I'm not sure if the Academy will watch it or get behind it, but it's the only song out of the 5 that isn't like a trailer and then credits song, sorry. So yeah, I'm like, Husavik is a big moment. It's a big musical moment in the movie, sorry. So I want to see Husavik win. I don't know if it will be. There's a part of me that thinks maybe it could, and I would love to see it win, but it's either most likely going to go to Diane Warren for Scene in The Life Ahead. She is 12-time nominated, no win. She has a great narrative working for her, so it could be her. But I'm going to go with Leslie Odom Jr.'s Speak Now from One Night in Miami. And the reason I'm going with it is because One Night in Miami was kind of snubbed for Best Picture and Best Director of the Regina King, and it was kind of under-nominated in general. So I feel like there might be more of a feeling to give it something because of how much it was snubbed, considering it was a film about, you know, black civil rights movements during the 60s and stuff. And the fact that it was snubbed doesn't really look good, so I think they might want to award it. But also, Leslie Odom Jr. has name recognition as well for being nominated twice for Best Supporting Actor and for Best Song, so that definitely does mean he's in the conversation more, and he's becoming like more and more famous by the day. So I feel like they probably will do like a Lady Gaga here and give Leslie Odom Jr. the win for Best Song, but he won't win for Best Supporting Actor. Daniel Kaluuya has that in the bag. So I'm not 100% confident on it. I'm like 70% confident it'll be One Night in Miami. But yeah, don't be surprised if Diane Warren wins because, yeah, 12 nominations, no wins, and she did win the Golden Globe, so there is a path for her to win. And if they want to go with the actual best song, that is a moment in the movie, they might go with Husavik from Eurovision Song Contest. But again, it kind of feels like a wishful thinking prediction. All right, so next up we have Best Sound. Easy enough, Sound of Metal. It's in the title, Sound of Metal. It's the most immersed I've felt in a movie sonically all year. Like, I really did pick up on how good the sound was in that film. So yeah, I think Sound of Metal has it in the bag. Yeah, it's kind of a duh prediction at this point. Next up we have Best Visual Effects. Yeah, I'm going with Tenet for this. Some people might go with The Midnight Sky, but Christopher Nolan movies have fared well in the visual effects department before, with Inception and Interstellar both winning the category, so I think it's going to be Tenet. It's another film where the visual effects are kind of one of the main selling points about it. Also, big blockbuster mainstream movies tend to have an advantage here, and out of all the nominated films here, this is probably the biggest and most blockbustery of them all. So yeah, The Midnight Sky could have it, but I don't know, I think Tenet will triumph here. So yeah, I'm going to go with Tenet. And then we have Best Animated Film. Again, it's an obvious one. It's going to Soul. It's Pixar. It's beloved. It's won countless awards already. Pixar's track record speaks for itself, and Soul is an original film, and they love awarding Pixar's original content with Oscars. So it's going to be Pixar, and you can take that right to the bank. And then we have Best Documentary Feature. I'm feeling it's going to be My Octopus Teacher because of its wins at the Producers Guild Awards and the BAFTAs. I do think Time has a chance here because it's, you know, very topical and timely what's going on in the world right now with the Black Lives Matter movements, but I'm gonna go with My Octopus Teacher. Then we have Best International Film. Another round. Enough said. It's gonna be another round. Like, to talk about it in more detail would just be a waste of breath. And then we're moving on to the shorts now. Best Animated Short. It's going to be If Anything Happens, I Love You. This lovely short little Netflix animated film. Oh my God, it touched me so deeply. If you haven't watched it, guys, oh my God, watch it. It's phenomenal. But it's also executive produced by Laura Dern. She's an Academy Board member, so she's probably given it a good push. People are gonna award it. It's powerful. It's so effective. It's moving. It made me cry. It's gonna make so many other people cry. It's gonna be If Anything Happens, I Love You. Best Documentary Short, I've gone with A Love Song for Latasha. It's the only one of the 5 I've actually seen, but again, it's very powerful, very timely, to do with the Black Lives Matter movement, and yes, I think it's going to be A Love Song for Latasha. And last but not least, we have Best Live Action Short. Some people are going with Star Power, with Oscar Isaac and The Letter Room, but I'm gonna go with Two Distant Strangers. Why? Just a gut feeling, that's all. I wish there was more reason for it, but yeah, I haven't actually seen any of the contenders in Best Live Action Short, so I'm just going based off of statistics and my own personal gut feeling. So yeah, I'm going with Two Distant Strangers for Best Live Action Short. But there you have it, guys. Those were my predictions for all 23 of the Oscar categories this year. What do you think of them? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Let me hear your arguments for who you think's going to win in the comment section down below. If you've enjoyed the video, please do help support the channel by hitting that thumbs up button. If you want more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any social media, Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, it's all in that video description and down below. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Airfield, and I'll see you next time.